That was it?
That was it.
That's all you
Big
get.
announcement.
Okay, is it on? It's on, all right.
Hey.
Can you hear me now? This takes care of all those complaints that people had about the video, that they couldn't hear me when it was supposed to be just right. Nacho, can you turn it down right at the... Yeah, right at that control there, actually, if you turn it down just a little bit. I think it's the dial closest to you. Just trying to cut back the feedback a little bit. Is the dial closer to you? Okay? All right. A lot of announcements today, but welcome, everybody. And make our guests welcome, too. As you know, we've got a variety of speakers coming in the next couple of months. And yeah, it should be the control right closest to you. Just turn it down just a tad bit. There you go. That's better. Yeah, we got a variety of speakers coming in I hope later this month, in April. Sandy Hancock, she is a Christian women's motivational speaker. I'm going to be putting all these guest speakers are going to be put in the newspaper, in the Ventura Sun and in the Acorn. Sandy Hancock, hopefully later this month. She gave me a confirmation on that, but she didn't confirm all the details. So hopefully she'll be here this month. Then in May, I've got Richard Trejo. You remember Richard?
He's the
Okay.
he's the general manager of
You got more now.
what?
If you turn this just a little bit, you won't get the feedback.
No, his, you gotta turn it on, yours, your mic,
Is it on?
it's off on this side.
It just stopped over there just
Yeah.
a second ago.
There you go. Now, go ahead.
I am on.
Now you're on.
Okay. Always technical problems. Okay. Richard Trejo is the general manager of KDAR, a person I've been working with quite a bit lately, and he is said he would be our guest speaker in May. Then in June, we're going to have Hal Crosley and his wife. They are from the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews. And you might have seen, if you watch Sunday morning television and early morning, usually Sunday mornings, usually in between shows, you'll catch one of their ads. Usually you'll see them in Russia, talking about the struggle of the Jews in Russia. And they have a very interesting ministry. Something that I can relate to, because when I was doing missions work in Russia, several of the spots that they were at, I remember very well. It was very sad. Let's see what else we got going here. Oh, on the 14th, there's not going to be any class here, because the outreach of the Bible Chef Ministry is going to be going to Sunshine House. It's in Thousand Oaks. So all the folks, all the assisted living folks there is going to get me and my table and some food and a overview of the class and how the ministry works, and that's the 17th. 2 weeks, yeah. So all of you are welcome to come and either visit with the folks there or help me, or anything you'd like to do there. I'm sure they'd all appreciate it. If you need details, just go to my website. And finally, as you all know, in June, Bible Chef's going to be on KDAR, and this is very exciting for me. This is a whole new quantum leap for this ministry, and so many details to take care of. If you remember, we had a guest here not too long ago, Carol Solway, Christian composer, singer. She has agreed to do the music for the show. Praise the Lord. It's another one of those details that's been taken care of, because you have to have, you can't just pick up anybody's music and stick it in there, because and it's nice too to have somebody that's really wants to do it and you know, can add that element to it. The other part that is very important to me, if you listen to any of the radio shows on there, you probably like I don't know, R.C. Sproul or J. Vernon McGee's. They always have a great announcer that starts it off, and then sometimes we'll say something during the middle about, you know, a product or something that's going.
Not going to be Gary, the great announcer?
No. No. And then they'll say, sometimes they'll say closing remarks. So, praise the Lord, I've got another great announcer. John has agreed to be my announcer.
With a big bass booming voice.
That's right. Are you going to be every morning?
No. In fact, that was part of the discussion in the very beginning, was how much are we going to do that? And how many times a week or month, or is it going to be a special occasion thing, or how is it going to work? And so initially what you do is you're going to do programs that are tests, because it's not only just having a particular format, but you're trying to also direct it to a particular audience too. And initially there was a couple of ideas of just putting it in there on certain occasions and seeing how the audience responds. Now, the good news for doing that is that you can prepare a really nice program and really brush it up nice and have it engineered really well, and then boom, you drop it and then it's gone and no one hears it again, you know. And that's the bad news, is because no one hears it again. So you have to balance all those things. And, well, and that's another thing that they can do. You can do it live, or you can do it and have it completely engineered. You can take parts of it and just, they can put it all together for you and then have a package and then they put it on. And so there's all those types of details to work out. It sounds like right now what's going to happen is the basic format is going to be me going through each book of the Bible, which will in itself create 66 programs, and each program will have kind of a summary of the Bible, and then we'll slip into how it connects to the culinary aspect of the ministry, and then be wrapped up from there. Now there's lots of other stuff that's going to occur. I mean, there's call-in questions about it. There's also ideas about the other things that I'm involved with, Project Kenya Children, and all the other outreach stuff that I'm involved with. Doing live spots right here, right on the radio, having Natalie Nicole Gilbert working with me. If you listen to KDAR, you know she's one of the speakers on the show, and incorporating that into that as well. Also having many more shows and having them live too. So there's all those dimensions of it. So it's very exciting, and a lot of work, and so please be in prayer for me about that. And I'm also open to ideas about it too. Sure.
Are you before McGee, after McGee?
I think how it's going to work, my understanding of how it's going to work is, do you listen to KDAR on a regular basis, people here? Okay, what happens on Saturday?
Garbage.
There you go. And they said that, Richard said that all of those vitamin ads that they have on there are very profitable to them, because no matter what they charge them, those guys pay it. In fact, they thought several times to get rid of that in the past, and so they kept raising the rates, and they just kept paying them. It didn't matter, you know, $50, $100, $200 more, it doesn't matter. We'll pay it. Here, put us on the radio. So even though it's very profitable for them, they know that the audience doesn't care for it, just like Ed pointed out. You know, I mean, I'll flip it on. Yeah, I flipped it on many times thinking, oh, R.C. Sproul's on now, you know, and then you get, here's vitamin ads, and oh, no, I don't listen to this, you know. And so they said that they want to remove that format. They want to get, they know that the audience doesn't care for it. And so they're going to be creating a whole new set of shows. And he said, we'd like to put yours in it as well. And so that's where I'll probably end up. Everyone will have to get used to, instead of vitamin ads, Bible Chef. We'll see. Anyways, okay. A couple of things in the news I found very interesting. So we can get over to that. There is the, it's in here. Yep.
You know, if you put that speaker behind you, you wouldn't get the reverb.
Over here?
Yes.
The thing is, though, that I'm trying to make it so that the camera can hear me.
Well, if you turn the speaker
Go ahead.
away from where he is, it should help.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
It needs,
What do you think about this?
it needs to turn this way.
Can religion make you fat? This was on ABC News the other night. Just turn it down a little bit.
Not as much as TV.
They were talking about,
You're lazy boy, right?
they were talking about children that are religious, and they didn't say what religion, they just said are religious, have a tendency by the
Time they reach middle age,
to be excessively overweight. Now,
why would
that be?
Because it's just a garbage survey.
The only thing that I can think of, does anybody have any Baptist background? Okay. What happens at
There you go, there's an ad.
okay, what happens at a lot of Baptist activities? There's food. There's potlucks. That's right. Now, if you want if you bring a dish to a potluck and you want it to be eaten, you're going to make one of the better dishes, right? And usually the better dishes have more sugars and more fats in them, and have those kinds of things in it that people are going to really like to eat. And if you participate in those often enough, your calories are going to go very much higher. And since we have a society now that's not quite as active, especially the teenagers are not quite as active as they used to be with all the video games and such, you're going to see them gain weight. So I can see where this could be an element, but on the flip side of it, I mean, it's a pandemic thing right through the society itself for being less.
A lot of Baptists and non-Baptists and Baptists.
Yeah.
We don't want to talk about Presbyterians.
There's probably a lot of atheists too. This is bad.
Well, you know, when they are showing those clips on those people walking down the street, and usually it's showing pretty much their abdomen and lower, and I would be surprised if all of those people were Baptist. You know, I would find that extraordinary.
Have you ever seen those that they have the camera around Walmart?
No.
Oh dear. They're terrible. They have these people shopping at Walmart and all overweight, they're dressed terrible.
This was also something that I haven't had time to read it all. This just came in. Oldest Christian Bible. Apparently, someone's had this for a while. It's been in their family, but it's been dated back to at least 1,600 years. Some people say it's even older than that. They believe it's 2,000 years old. They call it a oldest Christian